you have to go, 2K? You've been sitting there a long time.
No,
you gotta. Okay.
I'm used to being on a Wendy's show. I do this for 7 or 8 hours at a time.
All right. Yes. Please, don't remind people how lame you are, please. Not while the show is on. No, we're trying to make you seem interesting. When you describe yourself as lame, and then we just roll the ball back down the hill, and I got to do the whole work and push it up. People, he's amazing. He's not lame. That's not his house. That's a backdrop. And clean up next time. My God.
Just a random wall behind me.
Yes. Looks like Mike Morse's old background. Here we go. Great effects as usual by the amazing DJ Electrify. You can come up here for this, DJ Electrify. Since you made it.
Live.
How's the doctor?
It was kind of delightful, actually.
I'd always.
All right, we're not sure. When is this, DJ Electrify? Like a couple years ago?
Yeah, it's about a year ago or two, maybe more. But it just, the title was the Skankfest Vegas, Chad Zumach. Dan Soder calls out Kevin Clancy, and Chad Zumach is too cool for WATP.
Am I crazy, or is Craig significantly less ginger here than he is now?
He's less ginger and he's wider. I think he's been replaced by pod people or something. Bill Zempic does crazy things. It turns you red.
That's funny. That's always how Craig describes.
This is how I found him, by the way.
Here.
I know. This is how I found him. With this background and everything, I'm like, what is going on? They care about the visual aspect of the show. And they're like, no, we don't at all. We're a podcast. This is just, we're happy that Craig made something. Craig actually did something. We're just happy.
Describes it. He's been going for these daily colonoscopies that he's been demanding. And they're like, Craig, first of all, at your age, you shouldn't need a colonoscopy. And certainly not every day. And he says, I just want to go till they find something. And he kind of licks his lips.
Yeah, my uncle, one time, I drove him to get his colonoscopy.
Mm-hmm.
And I pick him up.
Uncle.
And I go, how was it? And he goes, I asked for seconds. And then didn't speak much on the way home.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Little anal sex jokes there, folks.
Little
probing jokes.
Always plays.
Oh God!
Doctor said, on the whole, you're okay.
Hey-o.
I should alert the people that don't know out there. Hopefully, there's a few of them. Kevin Clancy, for those of you that don't know,
Anthony Cumia
was one of the top tier guys at Barstool. Kind of got lost in the shuffle. He's gone by the wayside. The place has passed him by a little bit, and he does a podcast now that is led by Feidelberg. He tries to drag Feidelberg down.
Oh, so many names I don't know. Congratulations. You're teaching me something, DJ.
And make him less funny.
Yeah.
And so that's his role there now. But no, he's like one of the original guys over at Barstool. And he has beef with me for some reason. He doesn't like me.
Uh-oh.
I never quite understood why fully. But one of the reasons he doesn't like me is because I poked fun at him when he had Nikki Glazer on to apologize after the Legion of Skanks made fun of her very serious song to Bob Saget. Oh, so to give you a little vibe on what it's like there. It's
the best swallower in the business. Never swallows on mic. Oh, what a pro.
Comics and fans pretty much interacting with each other the whole time. And I went to the bathroom. There's a long line for
hold on.
the bathroom. And I finally get to the front, and I walk up to a urinal, and
he thought it was a urinal.
I turn around, and I hear,
you hear Krigers go, hey, blind Mike.
Mike?
Thanks for the drink.
Shane, like 6 people behind me. And like,
so Shane Gillis was talking to him.
He's more affectionate than I realized. He comes up and fucking grabs me, startles me.
He was on mushrooms.
And, oh yeah, I'm sure. But my first thought was, I go, you have to wait in line with us for the bathroom? There's not a bathroom in the green room?
That's got to be fucking annoying for someone, especially of his level.
Yeah.
He's getting the bathroom treatment now. He ain't waiting in line no more, blind Mike. Now, this is back when,
So wait, I didn't know that he knew Shane Gillis.
He knows a lot of these people. It's crazy.
He knows everyone. It's
He
blowing my
does.
mind.
He will know more than that. But for the time being, let's keep it professional. But here's another picture I'll show you just to prove my point. Look at that. This is Blind Mike and Jim Norton.
Blind Mike's taller than I thought he was. I don't know why
He is.
Blind Mike was that tall.
He's a normal sized man and not heavy at all. He's a beautiful man. Makes me call him fat all the time. I just think it's the view of that one show I can't watch. They got to fix that. I think I'd look bad on that show, but I'm clearly an Adonis.
Not just his level, someone that's drinking 6 Bud Lights an hour.
Well, no, what I mean is just being in a line like that with everyone that's like, oh my God, I
What up,
fucking love
Shane?
you so much.
Yeah.
You fucking dummy.
How come I can only ever see one tooth of Craig's? It's always that one tooth that's looking at me.
They did a funny show, by the way. Matt and Shane did a live show. They said after the success of the President's podcast, they broke down the Crusades.
Live?
What? Jesus.
And they spent an hour on this subject that clearly Matt studied and knew about, McCusker.
Mm-hmm.
And but like you could tell the crowd was getting like rowdy and they're talking amongst themselves. And every once in a while Shane would interject with like teacher energy. Hey, knock it off back there. You're learning something. So that was very funny. And also,
It's always a good idea, too, to put a reflective thing behind you so the lights, are behind. You can see the lights behind you. Good job, Craig. And this is the first thing they tell you in producer school. Put all the lights behind you and the camera in front of you. Uh-oh, what was that? What is that? I just saw a giant head into the camera. Who you got
God
with?
damn it. You see, his head is massive. It's this move. It's my time. Get out of my shot. Bastard.
So we got to talk about wearing black shirts or something.
Yes, he realized that right before he came out. He's like, I'm going to buy a blue shirt, but there's no time to change it.
Oh, no. I took it
Trainable.
Yes, you are trainable. Let's get back to it.
Did Matt do stand up?
McCusker?
Yeah.
I'm sure somewhere. I didn't see it
Oh,
because there were 6 stages going on at once.
he's so fucking funny.
He's such a whore for comedy. He goes where there's 6 stages of comedy at once. Have you ever been a comedy whore, either of you? Well, we know the one on top here has. What about you, 2K?
No, I've never been whored out by a comedian or, certainly not by an uncle or anything like that.
You never gone to like a Legion of Skanks or a comedy festival or anything?
No, I've had a couple of like local shows in Manhattan, but never like a whole group of comedians from a particular comedian gang or anything like that.
And we know your story, DJ Electrify. Oh, you'll drive state to state looking for these losers.
Electra saw that Seattle thing earlier, and they perked up.
That's true.
Yes.
Anyway,
He's very
sorry.
funny. Yeah. I hope he puts out like a half hour or something at some point.
I pray to God he does.
The other thing we did involving Shane was we went to Robert Kelly's YKWd the first night.
Yep.
And it was Dan Soder, Joe List, Louis J. Gomez, Shane Gillis, and Bobby Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
What name dropping?
We get in.
Yes.
Oh, so I should say this. Louis sees me the first day and immediately grabs my cane and throws it into the crowd.
I didn't like you before, Louis, because you stole my... Yeah, but I actually do like you. You need a producer. I can help. But also, good on you. Yes. You can walk, man. Now walk. It was like a gospel sermon.
Thank God he didn't throw his dog into the crowd.
Yes.
That would be terrible.
And then very quickly he was like, give it back. And I hear Dave Smith say, give the blind guy a golden ticket. Golden ticket lets you cut the lines, which is a big deal because the lines are a pain in the ass there.
Mm-hmm.
So later when he saw me like waiting to get in, he like goes up and shakes my hand again and he yells to the line that's waiting. He goes, I'm giving this blind piece of shit a golden ticket. Thank you, Louis. So that made the lines a lot easier for me. Oh, which this was also funny. I guess some guy in a wheelchair was in the front row at one of the shows.
Fuck this guy.
Well, no, so that guy got a golden ticket as well.
Oh, that was so funny if Lewis threw his chair into the crowd.
So they were talking, and they were like, Lewis was basically like, this guy should be really thankful that I gave him a golden ticket. And Big J goes, we wouldn't have just let him in? He's in a fucking wheelchair.
It's like Willy Wonka, but all the kids are cripples.
Anyway.
Yes.
Wow.
Blind Mike would definitely drink from the chocolate fountain thing. The chocolate river is getting Blind Mike 100%. Yeah.
I tell that story to say that we got into YKWd first, and the people I was with were like, let's sit in the front row. And I was like, oh, I'd rather not. And they were like, come on. And I was like, all right, odds are they're just going to be doing a show. They're not going to acknowledge me.
Uh-huh.
Within like
Get him facing the wrong way.
15 minutes, Lewis says something. I don't react. And he goes, oh, fuck, that's Blind Mike. I thought it was some asshole ignoring me. And I'm like, hello. And so, of course, Bobby goes, this guy's blind. And that's, that's pretty much the rest of the show I'm being referenced. We're taking a week off of Stuttering John, but I do have to defend my guy, Carl. Figure I'm going in there this week. So I want to, make sure our ducks are in a row here. Make sure he knows we have his back, because he's in the midst of a war with a gentleman by the name of Chad Zumock. Are you familiar?
I've heard that name.
He seems like a real pain in the ass, this guy.
For real?
He is a guy who is so insufferable that Kevin Brennan found him annoying.
Is that why I know his name?
Even Kevin Brennan was like, Jesus, dude, get away from me. You're a pain in the ass. So, if you guys don't know Chad Zumock, he's a comic, he's a stand-up that he's in that world of kind of trolling. Like, he used to be on Kevin Brennan's show. He used to be friendly with, like, Anthony Cumia. I think he burnt all of his bridges.
That's why I know him.
Yeah, I think he burnt a lot of bridges and has no real friends in comedy anymore. At least not ones that want to, help him out. So he's kind of off on his own now and always trying to, make a name for himself, which is good for him, I guess. But he was on Carl's show, I guess, a few months ago. I don't remember. I don't think I heard the episode. I don't remember him being on, but they said it was like epically bad. Like, he was really bad and like not playing along. And I guess he was trying to troll them, but it didn't work. And so it was just a bad episode. But Carl was a good sport and just like, got through it. And then, never invited him on again.
They didn't have like a Shikala situation to save that from happening.
They did not. No, it was straight. It was the opposite of Shikala. It was just straight uncomfortable, I guess. And, Carl got through it. And then Chad would email Carl and try to get back on the show and things like that. And Carl kind of ignored it. Didn't really have any interest. And then Chad would start talking shit. And then Carl kind of ignored that for a while. And I guess it got to the point where last week Carl responded to it and was finally like, just fuck this guy. Because now he's been going after Carl and Anthony and Chrissy Mayer and these other people in that world. And he's basically just trying to get attention. So I just found it interesting for this reason.
Fucking Chad Zumock, the first mention of the Z-Man.
Mhm.
So that was Blind Rewind.
Yeah, I like that episode. I say go watch it. Watch all their old ones. They're good.
My cousin Tuki was born simply for the reason to mock Chad Zumock. So kind of
Yes.
how we got here.
Yes, a lot of us are, here because of some lolcow or another. I would say I'm here because of Stuttering John, because of the Shuley show and the Carl show, and then I found Blind Mike, and thus I exist. Isn't it amazing? But he mentioned Stuttering John there. And, at that point he had already been talking about Stuttering John, but this is another piece of the Blind Rewind. Here's the first mention of Stuttering John ever by Blind Mike.
One of the most trolled people on the internet today is a man named Stuttering John. Whether you know him from the Howard Stern Show, whether or not you've been keeping up with him on WATP, or if you've never heard the name in your entire life, I think he's a fascinating character, and he's the subject of today's episode of Why Are You Laughing?, my History of Comedy podcast. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, make sure you check it out. blindmike.net, available on all platforms.